The final curtain draws close in Wano. After a ferocious battle and defeating Big Mom and Kaido, Law, Luffy, and Kid decide to leave Wano and embark on their next adventure. Looking at the log pose, the islands are locked onto 3 different directions. They are northeast, east, and southeast. Law took the northeast route as it is the most direct route. Both Luffy and Kid said the middle. Seeing that neither are willing to back down on their decision, they decided to pick straws to decide who gets to go east. Luffy loses the draw and Kid is excited and yells, "East!" Luffy isn't happy and says, "I'm the Emperor. I should be the best at drawing lots." As they prepare to leave, Law reminds them that their alliance is over. He says, "Remember, the next time we meet, it will be as enemies. Don't whine to me if we're shooting to kill." Luffy responds, "Gotcha." And Choppa says, "See you around, Traff." Law replies, "Buzz off," and Kid instructs his crew to set sail. And they all went to their respective routes. The scene shifts out to sea, somewhere in the new world where the Kid pirates are. Killer sees an island and yells, "Kid, wake up, we're near land. Should we go look around?" Kid replies, "Are you really asking that? When have I ever passed on exploring an island?" Killer responds, "I know, but this island is probably the home of the giants." Kid immediately gets up, looks excited, and says, "Elbaf?" The scene shifts to a bar at a small port in Elbaf. A giant boy yells, "Take me with you! Take me with you! Take me! Come on!" A man whose face is not yet shown says, "Don't be dumb. There's no way I'd bring a hot-headed kid like you." The giant boy looks angry and dejected. The female bartender asks, "Why don't you give it up? You'll make all the other captains jealous." The giant boy replies, "No way. I really look up to the chief." One of the pirates comes rushing into the bar and exclaims, "Boss, that bastard's actually attacking us. So far they've just been scraping with our youngsters, but what do you want to do? Seems like it'll turn into a full-on battle soon." The man is quiet as he finishes his sake. We finally see that this man is red-haired Shanks. He says, "I don't know whether you'd call this good or bad timing. We were just about to set off." Shanks gets up from his chair and continues, "Guess I lost track of time catching up with everyone. It can't be helped when you suddenly come across old friends you thought were dead." Ben Beckman tells Shanks, "The enemy's gonna be pissed at you for keeping them waiting." Lucky Roo laughs and says, "You can't talk, Beck. Do you really think he's the only one they're mad at?" Yasopp asks, "So we're really doing this, Chief?" Shanks says, "Let's set sail." The giant boy excitedly exclaims, "You're going out there to fight, Shanks?" Shanks says, "I don't want to cause any major trouble here. Hey, Dory, Brogy, can you lend me a hand?" Dory and Brogy, the former captains of the giant warrior pirates, happily agrees. Brogy says, "Sure, brother, I don't mind." And Dory says, "Let's do it red hair." As they are about to walk into battle, Shanks asks Rockstar, "Can you go check something for me, Rockstar?" Rockstar asks, "You have a message for Captain Kidd?" Shanks says, "Yeah, tell him. He has a choice. He can either hand over his load, poneglyph, rubbings, and scram, or he can risk fighting me." The scene shifts to the outskirts of Elbaf. Killer is having a talk with Captain Kidd. He says, "Those ships on the horizon are all his, including the ones lagging behind. They're allies of the red-haired pirates. Every one of them seems like a big shot, and they're all sworn to the Emperor." Killer continues as Kidd is reminded of what happened previously. He says, "Last time it was completely one-sided. They took your arm, before we even got a glimpse of Red Hair himself." We see Shanks and his crew walking towards their ship. Everyone's in good spirits. One of them says, "Make way! The chief is coming through!" Another says, "I'm so glad to see you, Chief. You too, Beckman." Another adds, "I feel like we totally owe you protection money." Beckman says, "We don't do that." Killer worrily tells Kidd, "They won't settle for an arm this time. They'll take your life instead." And Kidd arrogantly laughs it off and says, "Only if I lose." The scene shifts to Victoria Punk, Captain Kidd's ship. Killer and Kidd see the ships fast approaching them. One of Shanks' allies yells, "Listen up, Kidd pirates. Don't even think of sailing up to our captain, red-haired Shanks." We see the names of the allied pirates of the Red Hair Pirates currently fighting with Kidd. They are Frog Toes Ribatini, the captain of the Puddle Pirates, Fugar the adventurer, the captain of social club band leader, and Pururu the brave, princes of the bourgeois pirates. Frog Toes Ribatini says, as though he owed you an audience. Another exclaims, he flubbed his line. Fugar yells, you said it, sonny, as his dentures come off. Princess Pururu says, that's right, you brutes, I hate you. Her ally says, you're so brave, princess. Captain Kidd remains unconvinced. He exclaims, are they serious? Is that really part of Red Hair's operation? This is the new world, right? Killer warns, still there are some famous names among them. Don't get sloppy. Captain Kidd retorts, I wasn't going to go easy on them, even if they are nobodies. The next scene, Shanks is seen in front of Red Force, the ship of the Red Hair pirates. Shanks orders, hey, move those ships out of the way. One of Shanks' allies replies, what do you mean, Captain? We won't let him lay a finger on you. Shanks is grateful but remains firm with his order as he intends to ensure that none of his allies get harmed. He says, I know, I appreciate that, but move all the ships. As Shanks approaches the Red Force, several of his allies are seen sad and in tears that he is leaving. One of them says, are you leaving already, Captain? Another adds, just when we finally saw you. Shanks responds, it was only supposed to be a pit stop. Instead, I stuck around long enough for a big shot to show up. Get off and let me walk, and move those ships. Shanks continues, remember, my affiliates are famous for being weak. Everyone bursts out in laughter. One of them laughs uncontrollably and says, tell us how you really feel, Captain. Ollie adds, it's why we're still alive, 'cause your flag protects us. Shanks rebuts back, worry less about dying from combat and more from old age, crone Ollie. Ollie laughs and says, stuff that sassy mouth of yours, Captain. Shanks' allies cheer for him as he boards the Red Force. As Shanks boards the ship, Lucky Roo says, don't worry, Captain, we'll handle it. Shanks replies, come on, he's worth $3 billion. Don't underestimate how fast these young guns can grow. Shanks asks Yasopp, are they healed up from the fight in Wano already? Yasopp replies, he seems healthy to me, he's raring to fight. Shanks says, well, that's good. As Shanks walks to the main deck, he asks, you get any intel on Blackbeard? I was sure he would show up on Wano. Hongo replies, nope, just that he's left Pirate Island. Here's Captain Kidd's data. Shanks reads the data and says, from the South Blue, looks like he's been in plenty of scraps. The scene shifts to Victoria Punk where Kidd prepares to attack. He asks Killer, how many ships? And Killer replies, 9, and I see a few faces from bounty posters. Kidd is unfazed and yells, I don't care who they are. I'll wipe them out in 10 seconds flat with my damned punk. As Kidd forms his railgun to launch damned punk, one of Shanks' subordinates exclaims, whoa, what is that? A cannon? Is it pulling the ship in? Shanks' face completely changes as he senses something destructive is about to happen. He jumps off the ship. Hongo asks, what is it, Captain? Shanks orders, scatter the fleet. Dory, Brogy, assume positions. Brogy says, you got it. Shanks uses his future sight observation hockey and sees the immense damage Kidd will cause with his damn punk. He says, the damage is too extreme. Beck says, I think he's seen an ugly future. As we see many more ships get totally destroyed, Shanks says, I knew it. Shanks is now furious, knowing exactly how much damage will be done if Kidd unleashes his damned punk. Shanks quickly moves towards Kidd's ship, and Kidd is shocked and caught off guard. He yells, red hair. Shanks attacks Kidd with divine departure coated with Conqueror's hockey. Some of Kidd's crew members fall unconscious. Shanks' powerful slash attack cuts through Kidd's damned punk and follows through Kidd's chest, instantly defeating him and severely damaging Victoria Punk in the process. Kidd falls to the ground unconscious with blood spurting out. Kidd's subordinates were shocked and they screamed, Captain! Killer is seen lying on the ground in blood, unconscious. One of Kidd's subordinates says, it got Killer too when he stepped in to protect him. Another screams, the captain's not moving, he's dying. Kidd's subordinates panic as they see their captain and first mate being utterly defeated. Heat says, "We surrender, Red Hair. Spare our lives. Don't kill our captain." Another says, "These are our load poneglyphs. All of them." One of Shanks' allies yells, "This way, Captain!" Shanks takes the poneglyphs and leaves the ship without a word. Suddenly, UK and Dive sees two giant figures on the island. Dive says, "Hey, look at the island!" UK is speechless. The two giant figures are Dory and Brogy, and they prepare for their attack. Dory says, "Hey, tiny humans, if you want to point your guns at our homes, just remember." Brogy adds, "What goes around, comes around." They then unleashed a powerful attack called Hakoku Sovereignty on Captain Kidd's ship and completely destroyed it. All of Kidd's pirate crew are seen drowning in the sea. The narrator comments, "At Elbaf, in the New World, the 3 billion bounty pirate, Eustace Captain Kidd, and his Kidd pirates are utterly destroyed. This concludes the fight between Shanks and Captain Kidd. It was a complete victory for Shanks. Do you think Captain Kidd is dead? Comment below and let me know what you think. If you're new to the channel or you watch my videos but have yet to subscribe, I kindly request that you consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Your comments and your support keeps me excited and motivated to create more One Piece content for you. Thank you. And I will see you in the next video.